All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, great work as always. We'll see what the second half brings here. These two defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads at intermission. These offenses, they have had their way so far. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. Yeah, he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half two after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 78 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
That's another Washington first down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it on play action. Multiple rushers break through the drop-in for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Throwing now is Daniels. That is caught. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
A gain of 29 yards. And the Commanders' first down.
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They go play action. Daniels. Nowhere to turn here. He's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Nolan Smith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Daniels. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really high level.
They've been hot so far.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Only needed a few inches to pick it up and get behind your center and burrow forward like he did.
And remember what the GMs have told us? We build an offensive line starting with our center, the guy who can make all the line calls and also move those big defensive tackles in order to pick up first downs.
And this one complete to Smith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player, and it appears to be Devontae Smith who's having some problems here. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They go play action with Hurts. That is incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football to places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And it gets us inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another 1st down.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that little partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll motion McLaurin left. Now Daniel's going to give it up on the touch pass. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that one's all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. Ends up forcing the incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on early, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Throwing is Hurts. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
This is all about testing a defense at different levels. Both the tight end and the receiver outside are going to run matching dig routes at varying depths down the field. This gives your quarterback options. He decides to go with his tight end on the shorter route, and he made the right call.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Out of the shotgun, and Roman Barkley. gets it down to the 32. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Hurts completing this one quickly. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown of the night. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Washington ready to try again on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Looking to put a drive together. Play action, now it's Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
Out of the gun, they go with Krosky-Merrill. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I know a coach told me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Daniels. Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
It's a gain of 20. And the Washington first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
To throw is Daniels. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Up the middle, Krosky Merritt. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Daniels looking to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
We have so many different terms for third down, third and short, third and long, third and manageable. How about third and medium? Because that's what this one was. The defense looked like they had him hemmed in, but he gets away, evades the rush, and picks up just enough for the first down.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got it. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the night. And the Commanders get a bit closer.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Moody good with the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Eagles offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a 3rd down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on Monday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. They'll come up 2nd and 7. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. He finds him again, Saquon Barkley. They have 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington 16. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here, they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Elliott on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. couple yards shy of the 30. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
He's got him in, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 33 yards that time.
The 39-yard line.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
To the air goes Daniels. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Daniels. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. If they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Krasky Merritt not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Nakobe Dean coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
This likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A 30-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still got to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Gets this out quickly to Dodson. So he stopped for no gain. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And Barkley did not get there. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3-and-out.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well.
Fair catch. Signaled for.
And a Washington offense going back to work. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing now is Daniels. And got his man complete. And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one.
And the Washington first down. A 39-yard gain on the play. And the Commanders first down.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
In motion left comes Brown. Off the play fake, Daniels. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Here's Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
This is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. Takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jalen Carter, his second sack of the night.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And he will find his man, Samuel. Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel, 34 yards. And the Commanders have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point try now for Moody. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The home team's offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Here's Hurts to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now they're going to motion Dotson to the left. Hurts. Now he's going to step up and run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Hurts sets up to throw it. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. The Commanders' offense and Terry McLaurin headed back onto the field. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt, and now a chance to tie the game on this possession. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield, and when they see openings, take their shots.
They go play action. Daniels. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up in the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. He'll try and do this himself. And he is stop just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. And Bigsby once more. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff to Bigsby. And get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And it's the two teams. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Throwing is Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. And they will take a knee here. Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
Hey, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.